for every cute thing that you find, there's gonna be 10 that you're like, "This is hideous. Who's buying this?" Trust me, people are buying that stuff. But you gotta just have an open mind and, like, walk in a showroom and envision it in some of these showrooms, some are nice and modern and pretty, and others are just, like, boxes everywhere, and you're, like, leaning over boxes to grab hangers and look at stuff, but just look at the garment for what it is. Forget about where it's hanging, like, it's gonna be on a wooden hanger or whatever, on a mannequin, and just open the mind and see the dollars.
Boutique hustle. Unzipped.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Boutique Hustle Unzipped. I am Hannah Lavergne, the CEO of Herringstone's Boutique. I'm here in Louisiana, and this is my fun co-host, Sonia. Hey, Sonia, how are you today?
Hey, good. And I'm Sonia, buyer in LA, founded LA Fashion Insider, and we are a boutique buying business. And yeah, been doing this for a good long minute.
A long time.
Yep.
We're several weeks in now, so fun. We've kind of
Yep.
made our way through a few of our trial and error episodes. I'm kind of interested to see how our fans or lack of are
Listeners,
responding.
let's call them listeners.
Literally,
They might not be fans, just listeners.
yeah, just listeners right now. We're gonna make fans out of it all though.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
how it's been going. I would love to have some comments below just to kind of hear from a few of y'all would be
Hmm.
amazing. But we're so glad to be back this week. And today we kind of wanted to jump into just some questions, just making it kind of fun, going back and forth between me and Sonia today. There's some fun questions that we both have for one another that I think that, y'all might can get some insight on, or just they might be questions of yours as well. So, Sonia,
I'm
are you
scared.
excited? I know. Same. What questions do you have up your sleeve
I
today?
have to remind myself not to be as raw as I can be, behave, be proper.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Okay, say it all. Do all the
Right.
things.
Right.
Bring it out. Bring it out."
I'll get there. I just have to be careful. So yeah, I mean, if hindsight were 2020, then our careers would need prescription glasses, basically.
So true.
There's so much I wish I would have known then that I know now, but hey, that's how I got here. I learned through trial and error,
That's right.
and boy, have there been some trials, but yeah, it's fun. So we're gonna just shoot away some questions, and hopefully you guys can get a little knowledge out of our mistakes or other things.
So true. I mean, if we knew now what we knew then, we'd be skipping lots of blisters, heartache, headache, sleepless nights, everything in between.
Talking about that, I have to say when I first started buying, or I was walking downtown LA every day, I thought I could do this shit in heels. Like, I would come down here in heels, people. Like, what was I thinking? Now sneakers are
But
my
you're
best friend,
cute.
but yeah, I was like, I gotta go be cute. For who? No idea. But when you said blisters, I remember these Steve Madden pink pointy like pumps I had. And I think I liked them so much I had them in like 3 colors, and those were like my work shoes till I figured out that
Oh my god.
cute needed to be way down the list when I was doing what I was doing. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, just had
Uh-uh.
to throw that in there because it brought it back sort of like not a good memory.
Yeah, PTSD for sure. Well, let's
Yeah.
dive in. What is one rookie mistake, speaking of, that you made as a new buyer in downtown that still makes you cringe today?
Wow. Okay. How long do we have? um,
Quick, 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 quick.
for sure was the first blind buying gig that I got from a client in Florida. We're not gonna name names. And she gave me a pretty substantial budget. And I thought I had asked the right questions and, who's your customer? And, like what vendors sell best for you and blah, blah, blah. And in hindsight, I definitely needed to ask way more questions. Those of you who work with me now and recall kind of this whole spiel I go through when, considering working together will understand that did not exist for me with this first client. And so I proceeded to buy about $8,000 worth of merchandise, which 20 something years ago, it's a lot of money. And
Yeah.
yeah. I had to return all 8,000 of it. Now in my defense, this particular boutique has gone through pretty much every buyer downtown. So I started to not take it so personal and
Yeah.
realize that even though I definitely failed to do some things because I was a rookie, it was not all me. But my job to find out what the client's needs were and if I had any doubt, ask. And so I really drill that into my girls. It's like if there's even a hair of a doubt,
To ask the
ask.
question.
Just ask. That's it.
So if you could go back, what skill would you have focused on developing earlier in your career?
Skill. Probably time management. If
Good one,
you're
yes.
working down here, if you're working down here, you can easily let the day get away because in my case, I know everyone, everyone knows me, and
Yeah.
even if I don't go into their showroom, they're like, "Hey, Sonia, come here," and they tell me about their kids, what they did last night, where they went, what am I doing, weekend, all kinds of things, and next thing you know, you're talking to someone for 30 minutes, and you're like, "Shit, I gotta get out of here. Like, I gotta go work. I know I'm working, but I gotta go work."
You gotta actually get your day done. That's a good
But
one. That's a really good one.
I'm gonna go back to your question. What was one rookie mistake you made as a new buyer? Or not buyer, but owner that
Yeah.
still makes you kinda use today?
Oh gosh, there was so many, but I think some things, and we may have actually mentioned it before on one of the episodes, is overbuying. When we first opened the store that I am my first baby, which is our Lafayette location,
Mhm,
16 years ago. We dove in, had a great start, then had the oil spill of 2010 happened in South Louisiana, the BP spill. So that was a huge economic downfall here. And so what I saw is like an awesome opportunity. We were going, we were moving, everything was going great. So when we went to markets, I was just like diving deep, deep in, right? And
mm.
once that happened in the in between stages and the fall hit, then all the orders started piling in, and I put in like $150,000 in like denim, and it was just obnoxious. Yeah. And so I was just getting denim and denim. Like I should have just been a denim store. It was insane. That was when like Seven Jeans, True Religions, like all the premium denim was popping
Mhm.
off, and it was an overbuy. I mean, literally, that's what taught me okay, I have to actually budget and I have to have budgets within my departments. And denim, I can't put all my dollars into one basket. So that for sure would be one of the rookie moves I made very, very, very early on that hurt very painfully, and it took a minute to get out of that. I mean, that was not something that just like came and went like that took some time to figure out how to even get out of that. And
But would
there
you
was
say it was not the only time you made that same mistake?
that is not the only time I've made that same mistake. I will say though, that is the only time I've made it that deep in the
Deep, yeah.
pocketbook.
Mhm.
I usually
You
can
learned.
catch it. Yeah, I usually can catch it a little quicker before I'm that deep into it. But it's also like what led us into figuring out how we even manage our departments and our categories within what we sell in our store and put percentages on different departments. And as well as we do with denim, that's not our highest performing category. So that's obviously not the category we're going to go and dump all of our dollars into. So I had to figure out a lots of inventory things back in the day, very, very, very early on because it was very costly, very costly. So that's one I'll never
So
forget.
okay. And so what's one piece of advice you would give your younger self?
Oh, that's a good one.
Be fabulous sooner?
Be smarter sooner. Piece of advice that I find, and I still struggle with this on the daily, I'm not going to lie, but I do find I'm more patient as I'm older than I was when I was younger. I think, like when you aren't seasoned and you just haven't built those muscles, everything seems so large and heavy and
Urgent
overwhelming.
and
Urgent, yes. So it's like a part of me now.
everything's, an emergency.
Yes, for sure. I wish I would have had more patience when I was 23. I think that I would have made better decisions in a lot of cases by having more patience, and not feeling like everything's weighing on me. Like
It
I
needs
said,
to
it's
happen
still
now.
that's right. It's still a struggle today, but I do feel like I can make better like business decisions just by taking a minute to really think about it, think it thoroughly, strategize instead of just making really quick impulse decisions. So
Yeah,
that's just off the
that's
top of my head. I probably could come up with like 1100.
sure. I'm sure you can.
I know.
And then some.
Looking back, was there a trend that you completely underestimated or overestimated that changed how you buy today?
Gosh, for the record, we didn't rehearse these. This is a genuine response. I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
no.
I'm sure there's many. I'm trying to think a trend.
What about the Pico
I d
teas?
no, I
Underestimated.
well, those I did not underestimate. Those my customers, clients underestimated. For those
Guilty.
of you who remember
Guilty.
Pico, Tree People, whatever it was, Pico
Pico teas
1988. The fitted arms with the oversized
that
square
you would pack
body,
with
off
the
shoulder.
matching leggings.
So I bought those initially for a bunch of people because, I mean, come on, guys. It ended up being amazing. But at the time, that the oversized thing fit was not a thing. Like,
Right.
no. And so I sent it to several clients and I was like, these are amazing. Like, you're going to sell through these. And I remember a couple people returning them because they said it made their girls look fat or heavy or whatever. And I was like, really? In less than, I don't know, 2 months, I could not ship enough of them. And everyone wanted them in every color.
Every
And
color. Literally every
it was
color.
insanity. And it went
Hang on.
on for years.
I just had another it was the Aztec leggings that you paired back with the Pico tees. Or Chevron, Chevron! It was
Chevron.
Chevron!
Yes. Oh my
Oh,
God.
so bad. Oh my god, so
Yeah.
bad. But
Yep.
hey, that was making
But
people some money.
I mean, this went on for years,
Huh?
like years. And
I
then
remember having, like,
there was a
section in the
dress
store.
version. Oh yeah. But
Yeah.
that was not my underestimation. I saw that one. I would say probably when skinny jeans started going out and then the big baggy, like
Yeah.
straight, wide leg, loose fit started coming in. I was just like, ooh, and then the high rise. The high rise, I think that's probably even more so. Like when the
Mhm.
high rise, because I was really into the low rise, skinny jeans. And it took me a while on the high rise and then the baggy stuff. Then I came around.
That's so funny.
Because
That's good. Good, good. Well, if you couldn't see by my response, the
where were we
Chevron
getting those at the time? What vendor was
I
the Aztec leggings from?
I swear I think Pico may have had all of the things. I don't even know.
Mm, mm-mm,
No?
mm-mm.
And then it went into, like, holiday. So then you would do, like, the holiday leggings paired back with the Pico tees.
Who had those?
I can't remember the
God,
vendors. They were
I
probably
know, I'm drawing a
everywhere.
blank. Yeah, that's true. Wow. We've come a long way.
No lie. So, okay, so this is a good one. What's one lesson about negotiating or pricing that you learned the hard way?
The hard way. I consider myself a pretty good negotiator, but I think I found out really quickly that because I do have some big clients and I've had them throughout, is don't ever tell a vendor to not like your neighbor down the street or whatever you consider your competitor.
Yeah.
Like, don't say, like, can you please not sell them and blah, 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 blah. Like, I tried that and they say yes. At the time, I've come a long way. So relationships are different, but they normally will tell you yes and then still ship them and say, I was at a show and warehouse shipped it, whatever. But they don't like that. And more times than not, unless you're like a way bigger buyer than whoever it is you're asking them not to like ship to, they're going to ship them anyway. And they're still trying to run their business.
Yeah.
And so they need to sell garments. So I would say I tried that and I realized, yeah, that one doesn't work. So my new strategy, I have many different strategies. I think I'm pretty well taken care of. I say a better approach if you're really struggling with a competitor is to kind of reverse psychology it. Just tell the vendor, look, here's my order. If they ordered it first, take it off my order. Like if they have it, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And I would say in more times than not, my order's bigger per piece, per style. So I just leave it to them and I just put that on their plate. So hey, if they have it, cancel it off our order, and it works itself out. Let's just put it
Yeah.
that way. They don't wanna lose this over that. I just recently had a couple of situations with one of my clients, and this is a very big buyer, and so I just asked for a window. Like, I just never ask a vendor to not sell to someone. It's just not the way to go about it.
I like that. We just had some vendor and competitor issues recently that I'm not very excited about. That's another topic, another podcast.
Are we dropping names?
No, I would never.
Oh, it could be so juicy.
It would get way too juicy. No, it is a good topic though when we talk about certain lines and who can carry this, who can carry that. Things have changed so much since COVID, I feel like too. But that would be a great episode. I could talk about it for like 45 minutes, just that alone.
Let's put that on our
Yeah,
to
to
do.
do list. I love it.
So let me ask you, if you could tell your younger self a trade show survivor tip, what would that be? Because if you're like anything like me, you probably did you wear heels to your first trade show thinking you needed
I,
to be cute?
I'm sure because I was probably like in my teens, I have no doubt. No, I definitely am a sneakers. I gotta wear flats, comfort. As I get older, you don't even have an option because my back is like out by noon. Say one thing is probably hit the what are the floors called? 12, 13. What do they
The
call those?
the permanent
No, not the
showrooms? Oh,
permanent
no, the
showroom.
temporaries. The temporary show.
Temporaries. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
went blank.
temporary
Yeah,
floors.
I would say hit
I
temps
was thinking Atlanta.
first. I feel like when we go to our permanent showrooms first, then like my brain's dead when we get to the temps. But now I like to
And that
start
can be
those.
overstimulating.
Oh my, it is so overstimulating. I also like to
Mhm.
hit them early in the morning before the crowd comes and then your brain's fresher and it's not so I get so overstimulated in there. There's just too many there's so
Mhm.
many people. It's a lot. But I like to hit the temps first, definitely earlier in the morning and then hit the permanent showrooms around lunchtime and you can kind of close out your day there. They serve lunch typically, and then you can start drinking your cocktails. It's a little get off your feet, um, and do the hard walk in and the temps I find are so much harder because you're just constantly on your feet, one room after the next
Mm.
booth, one booth after the next booth. So that's probably one survival tip. Be hydrated. Do not be hungover. Hungover market trips are not fun.
Oh, I've had several of those.
Yeah, not good. Drink the
Not
tequila
fun.
on your last night.
Or
But
just drink less of them.
yeah, but look, I mean, I'm telling myself all these things, and let's be clear, like I'm not even listening to my own tips. Like the one thing I do know is I do go for comfort now versus so much style. Definitely more on the comfort. Used to, I would like try to pick out the cutest outfits. Like every day had to be a whole look, and now I literally just go for comfort. Like I'm not putting too much energy into that.
Mhm.
But yeah,
If you care to know mine.
I would love to know yours because you've been to way more trade shows than I have.
Well, my everyday life is a trade show. Like, I'm literally here, showroom to showroom on a daily basis. I would say other than comfort, which I think should be number 1, and rest, which again, I don't listen to my own advice. An open mind. You have to have
Oh,
an
yeah.
open mind,
I
especially
like
when you
that.
come to LA, because you will, for every cute thing that you find, there's going to be 10 that you're like, this is hideous. Who's buying this? Trust me, people are buying that stuff. But you got to just have an open mind and like walk in a showroom and envision it in some of these showrooms, some are nice and modern and pretty, and others are just like boxes everywhere, and you're like leaning over boxes to grab hangers and look at stuff, but just look at the garment for what it is. Forget about where it's hanging. Like, it's going to be on a wooden hanger or whatever on a mannequin, and just open the mind and see the dollars.
I love that. How has your
Mhm.
definition of success in this industry changed over the years?
I would say for me, it's a little different because I'm kind of behind the scenes. I do a lot of things that for clients that other people don't know I'm doing. So
Right.
it's kind of like I have to pat my own back or whatever. It stays between us. So I would say when I buy home runs for clients, that's always been my high. When I get a message, a text message saying, like, oh my God, those tops that I was second guessing that you made me buy sold all the same day. Like, I could do my happy dance even when I'm driving. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's the little things, but
The little
that
things.
that definitely, I think, equals success to me because that means I'm doing the right thing for my clients and, it's paying off.
Yeah, I love that.
How about you?
I think in the season I'm in right now, success isn't necessarily like what's in the bank account, but more of that I can be proud of the business that we've created and still have a life with my family, like a balance. And I know that's like something we all like strive for. We all always hear that. I just want to have a balance in life, you know? I feel like when you can really figure out how to do both and not feel guilty if you're pulled one way or the other, and have it all is success to me. So, I'm in a season right now where, like, I've had to kinda, like, change my schedule, but I was just telling my husband the other day, I was like, "I finally feel like I'm at a place that I've worked towards where I don't feel guilty when I'm at home because I'm not putting in the hours for the business, or I'm not in the business feeling like I'm pulled away from the family." Like, I'm in a really good place right now, and that feels like I made it, but it doesn't mean my bank account looks any differently, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but sometimes the psychological toll is worse.
Yeah, and
And
look,
so
this could just be the season I'm in the past 6 weeks that feels nice, and it could be different in the next 6 weeks. That's the roller coaster
oh,
ride that
it's
we
yeah, it
ride.
changes.
Yeah, but, like,
Everything's
currently
cyclical.
yeah. Currently, I feel at a really great place, and every day brings new challenges. But a year ago, I was in a mental, I literally am having PTSD because 1 year ago, I had a mentee B, and I was not in a good place, you know. But I think it was the mental part of it was that I felt like I was not being where I needed to be with my family. And then I was just so caught up in the business side, but not seeing the success that I wanted to at that time quick enough because we were going through lots of changes in the company. And I thought by making the change, I would get these immediate,
Nothing's
rewards.
immediate. Yeah.
Nothing's, yeah, we're still not there as far as what my big picture vision is. I still have a ways
Mhm.
to go. But when I look back a year ago to where I'm at today, I'm like, okay, gosh, we have made so much progress. And I do feel like at a place where I'm there for my family. I pick up my kids every day at 3:30 from the bus stop. I haven't been stressed out. The businesses are moving forward. Like I said, it's not that there's this huge change in my income or revenue that you always like want that you think success is, right? But I feel
Sure.
like I'm in a nice balance of being a career person and being there for my kids as a mom and being there to do homework and take to all the sports and all the different things. Yeah.
No, that's great. I guess it's important to kind of take note of what is happening or what you have set up that has you in this place. And then even more so, where are you mentally so that you kind of go, I got to go back to this mindset.
Yeah.
Because it's kinda like one thing affects the other. It's kinda like the chicken or the egg. So that affects you mentally. If you're not in a good mental place, then that affects the business. And
For
so, like,
sure.
it all
No
gets
question.
jumbled and you don't know where that line is. And so
Yeah. When being in a family business, last year whenever I was going through lots of mental instabilities within myself. And I expressed it to my mom, and I even expressed it to my Aunt Cindy, who are my business partners. I expressed it to my husband. And they were all there for me because we are in the business together. But it does affect everybody who's around me as well. It affects my sisters in the business. Then we have business partners. When
mhm.
they all saw me who sits at the top crashing and burning, it affects everybody.
And it sucks if they're not, I mean, you don't want them to be in the same place, but if they don't get it, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure they're like, get yourself up and
Get your
like,
shit
what the
together.
hell?
Get your shit
Yeah,
together.
like, yeah. You're just like, easier
No,
said than done, but people
I
are
know.
in different places at different times, so
Yeah, I think so. I mean, being that we're all family, I think that they knew my personality. So they're like, okay, we've never seen
and you're
her
the
like this
happy one.
before. Right, exactly. I'm the stable one. So they're like, hang on, what's going on? So they were there, but this business puts a toll on you. And there was just lots of changes. I was thinking about the other day. I was like, why is this? Because this season is always very hard. We do homecoming season right before we get into fall and holiday. So it's like this 6 month stretch where you just do not get a breather at all. And then it's a huge investment. and then you're hoping that you get your return on investment sooner rather than later so that it sets you up for
Mhm.
fourth quarter and you come off of these summer months that are so brutally slow. Cash has to come from somewhere to set you up for these next seasons that we know that we have coming. And it's a lot of stress, it's a lot of pressure. And last year I completely shut down my online business as its own entity. And so we were doing a
I
huge
remember.
merge. Yeah. We moved from a 5,000 square foot warehouse to a 3,500 square foot warehouse. So part of me felt like I was taking like 15 steps back, and that was very deflating. At the same time, my kids were getting older, getting more involved in school and sports. My husband works away. It was a big just an undertake. But then I look at it this year and I'm like, okay, we still have homecoming season. We still have to do all these things. What was it that made it so much pressure last year versus this year? And then how far have you come? I mean, we've come so far in making these adjustments, which were so insanely necessary for the whole companies.
Mhm.
Anyways, that's a whole nother thing, but, we can definitely get more into in the podcast moving forward. I'd love to go because I'm sure you've had some times where you just feel like you're having a mental breakdown and then you kinda can come out of it.
For me, I'm like my own therapist. Actually, I was recently in Hawaii and I saw a masseuse, kind of like there's a name for them, but anyway, they're like spiritual masseuse or something. Somebody said, "Oh, it'd be fun to do it," and I needed a massage. I'm like, "Sure," but I internalize a lot, and so like I always have my game face on. But yeah, I have days where I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to
Like
be anywhere but here. Or you have a week where I'm just like going, like so much and everyone's needing stuff and blah, blah. And I'm like, it's gonna be a good week. And you look at your numbers, you're like, I feel like I just killed myself this week. What the heck?
right. 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 But do
But
doesn't it suck though being the CEO of your company where you wish that you could just be like, "You know what? I just can't today. I just can't. I'm just not going to." But it just
so sometimes I do because
that's nice.
I don't want
I
to.
feel like I can't do that. Like, we're just like, I just don't wanna do it today, so I'm just not gonna do it this week at all.
I don't do it often, but there's days that I'll actually work from home every once in a while because
Yeah,
I need to catch up on so many like pre-orders and invoices and
just
all
need,
the
like, a
things
minute.
that I can't do if I'm walking around.
Right.
And I feel like at home, I sit on the couch, I have my
Yep.
little setup with my
Yep, yep, yep.
laptop and my iPad and just focus. And I'll
Yep.
give it like 4 really hard hours and then I'm done.
Yeah. I have to
So
do
yeah.
that too. Whenever I get to the office, I feel like I'll have a game plan and I have, like, so many hours to get it done, but I don't take into consideration that my team is there as well, and so they're asking me the questions because 'cause I'm there. So it's easier just to ask me the questions instead of them figuring it out themselves whenever I'm not there. So sometimes it is best just to work from home to get your stuff done quicker.
Yeah, and if you have employees, trust them. It's hard for me to say and do, but I've gotten really, or I should say, better at it. I just toss a lot of things at them, and every time I do, I'm like, write it down on your list of things to do today. Or all my messages start off, "Can you please put on your list?" Like it's
Yeah.
just constant, constant, constant. Like write it down, write it down, write it down, because you think it's going to happen right now, and you're going to remember. And one call, one distraction, just. And if you tell me, "Oh, I forgot," that's where I'm like, "Ugh."
It slipped my mind. I just said that one of my girls that, works for me, and I tell her this all the time, and I love her to death, but that's what she'll say, "I'm so sorry, it slipped my mind." I'm like, "Don't say that. Don't say
Yeah.
that. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Just say it's still on my list, and I have not scratched
Yep.
it off." But
Yep.
that's a good.
That's a good one.
Okay, let's get back to the questions. If you could hand today's version of yourself to your younger self as a mentor, what's the first thing you would teach them? That's a good question. If you could hand today's version of yourself to your younger self as a mentor, what's the first thing you would teach them?
Okay. I feel like I've done this a few times over because every time I hire a new girl, I have to teach her the ropes, and it's just like, as you know, this is not it's almost like you have to get thrown in and kinda learn as you go.
Right, right, right.
I would say to be assertive and be bold and take chances. Ask vendor for things you want. tell them, like, when you need them, hold them accountable. If they say if you go into a showroom in our case, or if you have to call and you say like, "Hey, I'm following up on this," and blah, 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 like, "Well, let me check, I'll get back to you." Like, "Okay, when will you get back to me?" Like, make them commit, and then don't wait for them to call you back if they're not responding within a reasonable amount of time. Hold them accountable to what they told you. That's a big one here because, I'm sure, these poor reps and showroom people have a million calls and other people to tend to, but I always tell them, I can't go back to so and so client and say, like, oh, they haven't gotten back to me. Like, that's not a good enough excuse.
Right. Yeah.
It is our job to be diligent and be assertive and get those answers. And then kill everyone with kindness because it goes
A
way
long way.
further. When you're kind to people, I would say people always want to feel good about things that they do. Be a reason why they feel good for doing something.
I like that.
Be the subject. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I would say never let someone miss a moment to do or feel something good or do something good. And
I
so,
like that.
um, yeah, I would say being assertive and bold and
Confident in what
just
you do.
and yeah, confidence is a tough one because I think you can have some of those other, I guess, learn some of those other traits, but I mean, confidence can come and go in the same day. Like there's days, rarely, but I'm much older. Like it also comes with age. When you're younger, everything, like you were saying, is so much bigger and everything's
Right.
such a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, that's fixable. We can do this. Like we just have to do it.
Yeah.
Go fix it.
That's
And
right.
so,
You have to come up
yeah,
with a solution. Everything can have a solution. That
as
is
my dad
another
used to
thing
say,
that one of my mentors actually did always tell me, like, write, like, put in a little compartment in your brain of problems, but just always know that you can create a solution to the problem. And every day we have problems. I mean, every single day there's something that, like, you just had one right before we came up. You had a phone call,
pretty
right?
big one.
A
Mhm.
big one. But then you created a solution to help your friend out.
Yeah. So, what I thought my day looked like, it no longer looks that way. But we pivot, we switch some things around, and we make stuff happen. Yeah. I would say
And you're helping
just
people out at the same time.
yeah, because my dad used to always say, "Are you gonna let yourself drown in a drop of water?" And I'm like, "Okay."
Yes.
Yeah.
Drowning.
Always
Oh my god.
drowning. Like, I need floaties on a daily basis.
Literally, I know, sometimes it does feel like that. It is the weight of the world. I feel like even whenever I talk with my friends, it's such a heavy world we live in. So, and from your day to day, and then, I mean, you can't even get on social media without drowning. So it's just
Yeah.
it's hard,
I
You have to
try
have
to stay off of social media during the day while I'm working because and sorry to interrupt you, because
no,
what
it's
I've
fun.
learned, it can change your day. You'll see something, and I know we've talked about social media and the effects
Mhm.
of it and how to, like, balance it, but I have certain clients that'll text me screenshots of other people's posts and whatnot, and I'm like, "Get out.
Yeah.
No, don't go down that rabbit hole right now, like,
I know, and it's such a
don't do that to yourself."
distraction.
And
Such a
it's a
distraction.
distraction, yeah, and I don't want it to change how I'm feeling or, what I have planned for the day because, again, going back to that confidence thing, it's, like, so much fluff on social media, and so you just gotta take everything with a grain of salt. So I just, like, I don't know, maybe once a day randomly, but I really try not to do it while I'm working because of what I do and what my algorithm is and what's in my feed. So,
Yeah.
could
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
motivating, but at the same time, I just wanna, like, focus. So, yeah.
I like
And
that.
to end on a light note, let's talk about something funny or embarrassing moment you had at any point, I guess, in your career. Could have happened last week, but that you would rather it not happen again.
I think
I'm
they
sure
might
there's
be so
many.
embarrassing, I don't know if I could actually repeat it.
Hey, we're here to let it all out, right? Aren't we unzipped? It's
We are
it's whatever's
unzipped.
there.
Oh gosh. It's a loaded one.
Go for it. Keep it short.
Trying to think of a good one.
Oh, there's a lot.
I'm sure over the
I
years
have
there's
one that
many.
particularly stands out, like, big time.
What you say, and I'll keep thinking about one.
So, God, this was years ago. At the time, I was working as a sales rep for a company, a brand, and it was market. And so we, everyone used to pack their like samples in suitcases, and I guess kind of how they do now, and get on check them in, get on a plane, get to Dallas, Atlanta, blah, blah, blah. In this case, we were heading to Atlanta. I feel like back then everyone had the same freaking black soft shell, you know, suitcase, just the two wheels. This is a while ago. And so our luggage comes around and we start grabbing our suitcases, get in a cab, get in the rental car, get to the hotel. It's, I don't know, probably 5 p.m. in Dallas at this point. So we knew we had to get our butts over to the World Trade Center and like set up as quickly as we could because the show started the next morning. And I kept getting a phone call on my phone, like back to back to back to back. And it was a number I didn't recognize. And I finally decided to pick up. And this was like right when we had left our stuff at the hotel because we had to check in and run over to the mart. And it's Delta Airlines. And they're like, hi, is this Sonia Youmans? Like, yeah. Like, we think you might have grabbed the wrong suitcase. And I'm like, okay. And actually, I don't even know if it was myself or the girl I was with, Katie, if she's still around. Hi, Katie. And so we had these suitcases and I'm looking at the suitcases. I'm like, but then one had like this strap and it was like locked and it was very sealed. And I was like, oh, yeah, I think you're right. And she's like, yeah, we're going to need you to bring that back like right away. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, we have like a 2-hour window. I explained to her what we did. Like, we have all these samples and we need to get to the show and we have to set up the booth and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, no, no. She's like, I can't tell you what's in there, but we need that immediately. And I was like, ma'am, you don't understand. Like, this show starts tomorrow morning and like they're closing the mart at like 8 p.m. or whatever time they close. And it'll have to be after. And she's like, well, we have your suitcase here. And I'm like, yeah, but those are my that it was a personal suitcase. And so I don't need that right this second. I need to go do this. And they're like, ma'am, no, you don't understand. We have the owner of that bag standing right here. He is completely irate and like can you wait? Like, can we bring it to him? She's like, ma'am, I'm not supposed to tell you, but his dad's ashes are in that suitcase and their memorial is tomorrow morning and they have a 2-hour drive.
Stop it.
I
I'm
swear
dead.
to God. And I was like, we both looked, I had her on speaker and I was like, we both looked at the suitcase and we're like, like, holy crap. And neither one of us wanted to touch the suitcase. And God, I wish at the time, like, we had flip phones then. And I don't even know if we could have even thought of videotaping. Like, it wasn't a
Video it.
thing, right? And
Yeah.
so we're both like, you grab that, we're both carrying it down the hallway. Like, it really mattered, right? At that point. But we're carrying it like, oh God, like if we're carrying a dead body. So yeah,
That's hysterical.
she goes, we really don't want you to run into the owner. Like, we have your bag. Just let us know when you're down at arrivals and we're going to come down and
Yeah.
switch it out. Because I guess the man was like losing it.
Oh my gosh.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, no,
But
for
yeah,
sure.
that was kind of, I guess it was kind of embarrassing because
I
it
don't
was
know.
just
That's
like,
more
poor guy.
hysterical.
I took his dad. No, but showing up there, like, kind of with, my head down and like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to and all that stuff. I just like, and everyone's looking at me like, that's the girl,
She's
like
the one with the dead
everyone
body.
knew that I was the girl with the suitcase with the ashes. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
all
That's
eyes were
good.
on me.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
I'm sure I have others, but yeah, that was one that I'll never forget because
I
there
know
was
you
just
said airport,
so
so
much.
it did bring up a good one for me. Claire, who's my business partner, Claire.
Mhm.
She, for our listeners though, she's my business partner at our Youngsville location. She's been with us since she was in college, all 4 years, and then she went to teach, and then she came back. We opened up the store. She bought in, so we love her. She's now our COO. But anyways, her first market trip ever though, to come see you. Actually, we were in LA, and we went
I
to eat
remember.
at Catch. I think Catch had just opened at that time.
Mhm. I remember
So we
this.
went there the night before we left, and I actually met up with my girlfriend Allie. Did you ever meet Allie?
Mhm.
Okay. So we grew up together. She lives in LA. Anyways, went to have dinner with her and her now husband. And I remember being at that round top. I actually think Leonardo DiCaprio was at the table next to us. That was that night, pretty positive. Well, she got me on the jalapeno tequila. And so, and this is Claire is the only child, and she kind of grew up in a more sheltered household. So this is her first time to LA ever, like ever to California, her first market trip. So we're kind of, showing her the ropes. So we're doing our dinner, having our spicy tequila drinks, and eating sushi and all the things. She's experiencing things she's never done before, right?
Mhm.
And so I'm acting like, I've just been doing this for years. Take another. Then we go to like I don't know, we went somewhere afterwards. It's a little fuzzy, but the next morning I was not
I remember.
well, very unwell. And
You had to fly back.
we had to fly back, and the Uber driver came to get us. It was the longest Uber ride of my entire life. I was about to vomit. I was turning white. Claire was scared shitless because she was like, Hannah, are you going to be okay? Like, please do not vomit on me. And I was just like, just shush, just shush. And so we get to the airport. She has my bag. She's like helping me get inside. I'm so embarrassed, like she just joined our company.
Mhm.
She's worked for me. I was her boss, like since she was in college. So it's not a good look. And we
Great
get
example.
or an example, not a good example. We get into the airport and I have a problem. I'm like, I needed a bathroom. I needed to projectile. So I go to the bathroom, I projectile vomits. And
God.
when I throw up, this is embarrassing, but I pee on myself every single time. So I peed all over myself. No change of clothes because we just put the
Oh, God.
luggage inside. So we had
Wow.
to, I come out and
I
I'm
didn't
like,
hear this part.
I'm like, Claire, I feel so much better. I said, but we have to go to this. We got to go find some pants. I was like, I need pants. And so she's like, oh my God. So she's
Oh my
laughing
God.
and just like, she's in culture shock. Okay. So we're going through the airport. We're already almost late for our flight. We found one of the little stores that had some joggers. These joggers cost me $110. I still actually own them. Every time I see them, I keep them because every time I see them, I'm reminded of this story. And because I like to see if I fit into them because they were
And they were
so tight.
$110.
They're $110. So, like, if I can't fit into them, that means I've gained too much weight. Like,
Right.
I always know it's like that medium jogger pant that,
It's your
like,
gauge.
yeah, it's my gauge. Yeah. So they're my gauge in joggers.
Mm.
So, anyways, we had to buy those $110 pants, and I had high heels on, like little, little kitten heels or whatever. To put my kitten heels with my joggers.
Quite the look.
It was quite the look. Yeah. And Claire, she just has never let me, she's never let me
I remember that because I think I was texting you during
forget
the
that.
flight, giving you all kinds of pointers to try and make
Oh, yes,
you
because
feel
you told
better.
me I think that's when you told me about the, charcoal pills, right?
Mhm.
Was it charcoal or no? I don't remember, but
Uh,
there's probably many of times I've left LA that I've needed some pointers.
oopsies.
Yeah, that was one. Claire, every time Claire actually loves to tell this story. She loves to tell this
That's a good
story to
story.
everybody.
And
Yeah,
there are
that
no
was
photos to memorialize
thank
this.
God. No videos and no photos. Thank goodness.
That's
But
funny.
yeah.
Well,
But
that's
there's a
good.
lot. I mean, I could come up with so many, but
Mhm.
that's one that was fresh. When you said airport, I was like, oh, yeah,
Oh, I
I
got
got
it.
one.
Yeah.
I
You're
got
like,
one.
"I'm
I
gonna
got
one
one.
up you." Peed myself.
And I'll be honest, that wasn't the last time. And that was
Oh.
before I don't even know if I had babies yet. Like that might have been
Mm-mm.
pre-babies. Yeah.
There are no babies, I remember that.
Yeah. So,
Well,
anyways.
funny,
Well,
funny, funny story. Call it a day?
yes.
I gotta go
You have
take care
work
of
to
my
do.
hard left that happened this morning.
Yes, you have lots of work to do today,
Yes.
actually. I'm on the
Yep.
back of my day. I'm about to go. It's almost like pick up kids from school time. See,
Oh,
I
lucky
feel so
you.
successful today. I cleaned my house, had a podcast. Now I get to go pick my kids up from
Yeah.
school.
You're succeeding.
Succeeding. Yep. Well, it was fun chatting with you today, Sonia. Next
Same.
week, I do want to get into margins. I'm really want to get on this topic with you,
Okay.
talking margins, how much margin swing do we have with vendors? And also like from our standpoint, how to price our merchandise in the retail
Yeah.
side and
Mhm.
how oftentimes boutique owners don't price the right way, and it actually can put you into a really huge deficit. So I really would love
Mhm.
to get into that chat with you. If we want to talk about that next week, we could kind of
Yeah,
start
let's do it.
preparing for
That's a
that. I
good
think that
one.
would be,
Yeah,
yeah, I think so too.
let's do it, do it. So,
Okay.
thank you guys for hanging in there with us,
Yeah.
and if you wanna share some of your embarrassing moments or just
Some
anything
funnies.
that touched on any yeah, or anything that touched on any of the questions we have, please comment, and we'll, like, feature it on a future show.
Yeah, that would be so
So,
fun. Also, if y'all have topics that you would like me and Sonia to get into, there's so much in this wheelhouse that we are gonna explore. But anything specific, drop the comments below. But we'll chat next
yeah.
week.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you guys. Have a good rest of the week.
Bye, y'all.